Alright, so I'm gonna review the week, what was it, 4, I believe, of the NFL. And if it wasn't week 4, I will correct it on the fucking title of this. So, yeah, here's another non-wrestling vid. I've been trying to make a couple of these. So, here we go. We got, first game was on Thursday. San Francisco beat St. Louis 35-11. This shocked me. San Francisco had two very bad games before this, and they ended up winning by a lot. I actually thought St. Louis was going to win this game, but especially because they were the home team too. Gore had 20 carries, 153 yards, and a touchdown. Colin Kaepernick, 167 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. And also, he had 3 rushing attempts for 11 yards, so not that much rushing. So he didn't really have a great day fantasy-wise, but he did have a good game. I don't think he threw any interceptions because I didn't write it on here. Usually I'll write like 0 interceptions, but I don't know. Go look that up if you really want it. But yeah, so San Francisco won. Very shocking to me. Then we got Buffalo beating Baltimore 23-20. Buffalo was home. This again shocked me. I thought Baltimore would definitely win this game, but they didn't. Flacco threw 5 interceptions. Very shocking there. The team for Baltimore, they only rushed the ball 9 times for 24 yards, so you're not going to win many games if you don't rush the fucking ball. Torrey Smith for Baltimore had 5 receptions, 166 yards, a touchdown. Big game for him. And this is the thing that won Baltimore the game probably. Well, they rushed the game 55 times, 203 yards and a touchdown. Rushing the ball, not a lot of people do that, but it's effective. I think that's like 4 yards a rush almost or something like that. So I mean, it's effective if you do it and you're dedicated to the run and making up a good running offense. It's successful because you don't get as many turnovers. You can't throw you obviously can't throw an interception fucking running the ball. The only thing you could do is fumble, which doesn't really happen that often. So yeah, I mean, and it won Buffalo the game against a good Baltimore team, which hasn't really been that good this year though. Then we got, I don't think they've been that good. I know they lost to Denver and whatever, so. Then we got Cleveland beating Cincinnati 17-6. Cleveland won at home, but what another shocker. McGahee, good guy to have on your fantasy team. Not good now, but he will be. Rushed the ball 15 times, 46 yards for Cleveland. Starting to get a lot of more attempts rushing the ball. Hoyer for Cleveland, 25 for 38, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, so he did not throw a pick. That's good for him. And then Dalton for Cincinnati did not throw a touchdown, obviously. Fumbled 1 time, threw another pick. So two turnovers for Dalton. That's not a great game for him. But yeah, another shocker. Cleveland, I believe, beat Minnesota last week, so they're getting a couple good wins. They're an alright team. They've been really bad for a lot of years, but maybe they're starting to be a little bit better. And then we got the Lions beating Chicago 40-32, and another shocker. I thought Chicago would win. I'm a Detroit fan. I live in fucking Michigan. I live like 25 minutes away from Detroit. Big Detroit Lions fan. Highlights in this game: Bush carried the ball 18 times, 139 yards to score. And Cutler threw 3 interceptions and he fumbled 1 time. That's not going to win you many games, is it? No. Detroit was home, so I guess, it wasn't like a total shocker, like a big shocker. But I think Detroit's going to lose in Chicago. In fucking whatever they call it. I don't know. I was thinking of Green Bay. They call it the Frozen Tundra. But they don't really have a name for Chicago. But yeah, I mean, good offensive game for Detroit. I mean, especially Bush. He even got taken out of the game. Fucking like, I don't know when. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really watch this game. But I watched the end of it because I fucking had other shit to do. Had to fucking do some homework. So yeah. But good quality win for Detroit. I'm happy. I think they're 3-1 now. I think they might be in first place too, so that's good. Then we got KC beating New York Giants 31-7. KC was at home. Not a surprise here. I picked Kansas City in the Eliminator Challenge. It's a thing where you pick 16 teams or 17 teams over the 17 weeks, and you gotta pick one team each week to win. If you don't know what that is, do it on ESPN.com. I picked Kansas City to win. I'm 4-0 on that, so I'm happy. Eli threw a pick and 2 fumbles. Alex Smith had 3 touchdowns for KC, 2 picks, 288 yards. So I mean, he didn't play great because of the 2 picks, but he was all right. Yeah, and KC wins again. They're 4-0, so they're doing good. Then we got Pittsburgh beating Minnesota, 34-27. Yeah, good game for Minnesota. Their first win. Pittsburgh drops to 0-4. Wow. Peterson, 23 rushes, 140 yards. Is that what I fucking put? Yeah, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. Big game for him. Roethlisberger had 338 yards, a touchdown, a pick, and a fumble. So Roethlisberger's been doing all right. But, the defense hasn't been doing that good for Pittsburgh. 34 points to Minnesota. It's not acceptable. Pittsburgh falls to 0-4. They fucking suck. Tampa Bay loses to Arizona 13-10. A very low-scoring game here. Both quarterbacks, Carson Palmer and Glennon, the new quarterback from Tampa Bay. I didn't write down his first name. They both threw 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. So a very low-scoring game here. Nothing to really talk about here. Then you got Indianapolis beating Jacksonville 37-3. And by the way, Arizona was home, and Minnesota was home too. If I didn't say that, I don't know if I fucking did. And if I don't say any of them, just look them up. It's not that hard. They're all over the fucking internet. Alright, so Indianapolis away. They were the away team. Beat Jacksonville 37-3. Again, this wasn't really a shocker. Why did I say it again? Because a lot of these were shockers. But yeah, this wasn't obviously a shocker. Gabbert threw 3 picks for Jacksonville. Luck had 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So just a good win for Indianapolis here. They look to be going back on track. Their first game of the season, they barely beat they played a cupcake team. I don't remember who it was, but they barely beat them. I think it was Oakland. They crushed Jacksonville here, and they're back on track. And Jacksonville sucks, by the way. Worst team in the NFL. They're averaging like 9 points a game before this game, so they're probably down to like 7 or 8. Then we got Seattle beating Houston 23-20. I watched the end of this game. They put it on after the Lions game. Cool game. It went to overtime. Schwab threw 355 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. One of those picks went for a pick 6 too. Wilson had a not that great game. 123 yards, no touchdowns, a pick. Did rush for 77 yards, so that's good for the fantasy team if you have them. Yeah, good game here. Seattle's defense, they didn't play great, but Houston has a good offense with Foster and Schwab, so they did pretty good. And they did enough to get the win. They were the away team, so yeah, it's a quality win for Seattle here, especially away from if they could go like 4-4 at home, or like 4-4 away, and then at home go like 7-1 or 8-0, they'll be good. So yeah, Seattle's a good team. I think they're one of the top teams. They'll probably do better than 4-4 away. But I'm just saying, if they do that, they'll be good, because they're really good at home. And it would help if they got home field advantage, because if they did, they would probably go to the fucking Super Bowl. They're a good team, man. I mean, they got a great defense, one of the best defenses in the NFL, if not the best. And they got a good running back in Marshawn Lynch. Quarterback's all right, Russell Wilson, but he's a really good scrambler. I see a lot of potential coming from this team. Then you got the Jets losing to Tennessee, getting smoked by Tennessee. Tennessee was at home. 38-13 was the score. Tennessee won. Good guy to have in your fantasy team here. Bilo Powell, I believe his name is. Rushed for 14 times, 66 yards. Also caught 3 receptions for 42 yards. Starting running back for the Jets. He's been doing pretty good. I have him on my team. Then Jericho Cotchery caught it. What I fucking no, never mind. There was a fucking writing mistake here. Jake Locker. I thought it said Cotchery. I remember Cotchery played for the Jets, but he doesn't fuck anymore. But Jake Locker looked like Cotchery. The J looked like a C. The L looked like a C. Jake Locker threw 149 yards, 3 touchdowns. So not a lot of yards, but a lot of touchdowns. No picks either. So he had a good game there. And oh my God, it was just a fucking score fest. Denver beat Philadelphia 52-20. Denver was home. Manning, I have him on my team. He's really good, obviously. 327 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He also has no picks on the entire year. So not only is he good for fantasy, he's good for his fucking team. Then you got Welker and Thomas. Wes Welker, Demarius Thomas each catching 2 touchdowns each. My God, Denver is a fucking awesome team. I would love to see Denver versus Seattle and see who would fucking win. Would Denver's offense win or Seattle's defense win? I would love to see that. Philadelphia, they're not doing that great. They just lost to KC, and Vic is not. The running offense has never really worked in the NFL. Vic's a very overrated quarterback, and I don't think he's gonna fucking do that good. And then we got Washington, Oakland, RG3 throws for 227 yards, a touchdown, no picks, rushes 3 times for 10 yards. Not that hamstring or whatever, ACL still probably bothering him. Flynn throws for 227 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. So yeah, Washington wins 24-14. Oakland was the home team, so a good win for Washington. Good day for RG3 because he threw no picks. He had a touchdown too. So maybe not a good day, but he did decent. Dallas versus San Diego. 401 yards for Rivers, 3 touchdowns, a pick. Romo had 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And by the way, Dallas had no points in the fucking second half. San Diego wins 30-21. San Diego was home. Dallas, they're just the regular Cowboys. Always have the best players, but they just can't put it together. I fucking hate Dallas too. Despise them. One of my least favorite teams in the NFL. Why? Because they're rich motherfuckers, and that's pretty much it. They got this huge stadium. They think they're all good, and they're not. It's really funny every year. They're like, "Oh, this year is different. We're gonna win," and then they just end up going 8-8, whatever, 9-7. Don't end up winning. All right. Sorry, my camera ran out of power. So on my phone. I record these on my iPod, so and it ran out of power. So last one, New England versus Atlanta. New England won 30-23. Good game. I watched this game on Sunday night. Very surprised that New England won. Actually, I thought they would lose. A lot of shockers this week. Ryan throws 421 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Brady 316 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. Tompkins, receiver for New England, has had 2 good games in a row. Catches 6 passes for 127 yards. It's 1 touchdown. Excuse me there. Gonzalez, big game too. 12 receptions, 149 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So good game here for New England. This proves that they're not they're good, but we'll have to wait and see. I thought they would lose this game, but they didn't. They remain undefeated, so they're still in good shape. Played a lot of easy teams so far, so yeah. And Monday night game, who do I think is gonna win that one? I think Miami's gonna win it. New Orleans isn't really impressing me that much this year, but I probably won't give a review for that one. But yeah, so there you go. This is my first little addition here to that. If you liked it, tell me if you liked it or not. Tell me if you want to do a fantasy fucking review or something. I don't know. So I'll probably do some MLB playoff predictions once I get a chance before Friday, because that's the first game. So there you go, people.